Hello, it's nice to meet you. My name is Fay. One second. Yeah, okay, so it is nice to meet you. My name is Fay. I'm just here to make your life 10 billion% better, unless you already knew me, in which case, you know, your life's already been pretty great for a while, cause, you know me, but by monetizing the way I make your life better, or by live streaming it, I have not monetized yet, I will make other people's lives infinity times better. And for anyone who doesn't know me, who's currently watching this, you may think, hey, that voice doesn't really match how you look. To which I have one very important thing to say. I am trans. Burn in hell, bigots. Have not started a transition yet, but you know, I hope to eventually, in which case I will hopefully sound better. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna take this nice and slowly. As you can see, my appearance doesn't really perfectly, based on the background, you can probably tell that my appearance doesn't perfectly match how I'm supposed to look. This background art was drawn by my friend Isaac. Thank you for that, Isaac. You did a really good job. But yeah, this avatar, wow, I think it was really good for what I paid for it. I'll probably link the Fiverr guy I commissioned in the description or a pinned comment or something. But if I ever manage to make enough money, I'll probably go try and get like a more accurate, better model out of this. But yeah, so I'm just gonna take this nice and slowly and introduce you to me. So, my name is Fay Celeste. Physically, I am 18 years old. In terms of actually how long it has been since I was born, I lost track of that a few thousand years ago when I first became immortal. So you know, it's kind of hard to do. You could just call me 18. I'm currently legally registered as an American, much to my dismay, and I am the perfect being. You may have been able to tell that from, you know, just the genuinely perfect way that I present myself, but in case you weren't quite able to pick up on that, in which case I understand, not everyone can be as perfect as me, so you should love yourself in whatever state you're in. But yeah, I figured I'd tell you that, just so that you know, because it's very important that you are aware of the fact that I am so perfect. In terms of what I like, I'm a writer. I like writing. Just sort of enjoy writing. Got a few stories that I'm working on. Hope to eventually, I hope to eventually, you know, I hope to eventually, maybe get something published. That would be fun. But yeah, I also like taking walks. It's pretty fun. Casting souls into the fires of hell makes for a great Saturday. I mean, clearly I'm doing this with my Saturday now, but you know, it's going to be I did it this morning. It's fun most Saturdays. I'll probably start doing it like during the week or something. Lightning's pretty good. Not like natural lightning, but like, you know, magic lightning, the type of lightning I cast. It's really badass. Lightning's pretty great. In terms of what I dislike, snakes. Snakes are satanic creatures, and unfortunately my magic does not work on satanic things, so I have to live with them every day. They are demons sent to destroy us. But luckily, I have hired some people who don't have to rely on magic to exterminate every last snake in the world. And you may say, but Faye, what about the ecosystem? Don't snakes serve a very important role in that? And I would say, no, that's snake propaganda. Don't buy into their lies. When they're dead, life will be infinitely better. And as I mentioned before, my magic doesn't work on satanic things, and I don't like satanic things, so obviously I don't really like capitalism. It's just sort of a pain in the ass. Can't use magic to influence markets at all. And also the thousands of people it kills and the way it destroys lives, that's also not great. I also very much like anime and manga. Spend a lot of time watching anime or reading manga, so figured I'd give you a rundown of my tastes. Some of my favorite shows are Re:Zero, Season 2, Part 2 is currently airing. It's really, really good. It's both a deconstruction of the isekai genre and just like a genuinely really well and smartly written show. As arguably the best time travel plot I've ever seen. Really good characters, especially the main character. He starts out super unlikable, but that's intentional because it turns out he doesn't like himself any more than you do. And he develops a lot. He's been really good. I've really liked him since like the end of Season 1 and beginning of Season 2, and like he's actually managed to become a semi-decent person. I also really like Vinland Saga, which is like this historical fiction drama about Vikings set during the war, or the Danish invasion of England in the early 11th century, and it's so good. It's animated by Wit Studio, the guys who did the first 3 seasons of Attack on Titan, and it's adapting one of the most legendary manga ever. It's like, more of you have probably heard about Berserk, like everyone talks about how good Berserk is. I've read Berserk's first arc. Vinland Saga is better than the part of Berserk that has received an anime adaptation, or the part that has received a good anime adaptation. Vinland Saga is just so great. One of the best things I've ever watched. Fate Zero is also really good. It's also a 24 episode anime like how Vinland Saga was. It's super great. It's like, I really like tragedies. Fate Zero is a tragedy, and I got to see a lot of cool faces that I met over the thousands of years reinvented as anime characters, and if my obvious appearance hasn't given it away, anime people are the ultimate form of humanity, so good to see people like that. Even the characters who were not historical or mythical figures are also like super good and interesting, and I like them too. It's done by Ufotable. It's one of the most beautiful shows I've watched, because Ufotable is great. It's really good. As you can see, I've got like a lot of stars. If it's a star, it's on my all-time favorite series list. Instead of having like a top 10 or something, I just have a list of my all-time favorite series, and anytime I like a series enough, I just put it on that list. The list is about 8 series right now. The next series is Mob Psycho 100. It was written by the same guy who wrote One Punch Man, except it's better, and it's also like about espers, and it's adapted by Studio Bones, and it is probably the best animated series I have ever seen. Don't sleep on Mob Psycho, even if its art style seems a little weird. Hunter x Hunter. My favorite genre is shonen. Hunter x Hunter is one of the best shonens ever written. Just gonna leave it at that. If you like action anime or shonens, you need to watch Hunter x Hunter. Then there's Attack on Titan, which I sort of have a weird dash next to, because while I really like it, I'd also call it a guilty pleasure show, because in case you haven't seen it, Attack on Titan has some problematic elements, by which I mean it's kind of anti-Semitic. I justified myself supporting the series by sort of trying to read into it and see if the author himself is like actually anti-Semitic from what I can gather from the series. I think that I can see how he could have accidentally come to this conclusion based on the way he set up things earlier. Doesn't make the anti-Semitic messages in the show any better, but so long as you're aware of problematic elements like that, and you consciously make sure they aren't influencing you, and you aren't actually supporting someone who's anti-Semitic or bigoted in some other ways, I think it's okay to watch like problematic stuff like that. Or maybe I'm just justifying it to myself because I don't want to give up one of my favorite shows. who knows? There's also Made in Abyss, which is a 12-episode dark fantasy series from like 2017. It's really good. I like it a lot. I watched Noragami semi-recently. Season 1 was okay. Season 2 was really great. It's basically an urban fantasy series about gods in Tokyo. And that's probably the best I can describe it. You should check it out. It also has that weird Soul Eater gimmick of the weapons that the main characters use are also people, which is always a cool thing to see. Then there's Land of the Lustrous and Beastars, which are 2 3D animated series made by the only good anime studios with 3D, Studio Orange. Everyone kind of knows about Beastars after its recent surge of Netflix popularity. I actually like Land of the Lustrous a bit better. It's kind of like Steven Universe in that it's a bunch of weird beings that are made out of gemstone, except I like this a lot better than Steven Universe. It actually like dives into the idea of the protagonists, the main characters being gemstones. It's really creative. It's probably one of the most creative shows I've seen in a while. It's really good. I'd recommend checking it out. Punchline I put here not because it's like a show I super love, but because like it's like one of my underrated faves. I never see anyone ever talking about Punchline, and that's probably because its first 3 episodes are really bad by design. But the show itself is really good. It's written by the same guy who wrote the Zero Escape games, which don't want to give away my games list, but Zero Escape games are really fucking good. So yeah, check out Punchline, but get to at least episode 4. Then there's Haikyuu, which, you know, Haikyuu is great. Didn't ever think I was gonna like a sports anime. Haikyuu changed that. So good. If you have not watched Haikyuu, also watch Haikyuu. Then there's Naruto, which I consider like my first real anime, because like I got into anime with like, you know, Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh stuff, which like what is fun for what it is, but it's basically just an elaborate marketing scheme. And Naruto was the first time I saw an anime that was not literally just marketing a real world product. And honestly, I can't even remember if it's any good or not, but I can remember it's definitely good, but I don't know how good it is. I haven't seen it in a while, but it's kind of what got me into all of these other shows, so you know, Naruto is very, very good. Then in terms of manga, One Piece is probably my favorite series of all time. Some of it is really slow and it takes a really long time to get into, but it's got some of the best characters in any series I've ever seen. It has a really interesting take on character development, where instead of a character changing over time, you just see more facets of who they are peeled back as time goes on. Like, sometimes there will be a character who develops a bit in one arc, but the status quo is always pretty similar, of characters having similar personalities and a similar dynamic on the ship. So when they're developing, it's really more of just you seeing what makes them tick, and it's really good. Then Pokemon Adventures is also one of my favorite manga ever. It's basically like Pokemon mixed with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and it's also much better than JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I'm not sorry for saying that. You should absolutely check it out. If you have ever cared about Pokemon, you will love this manga, and if you haven't ever cared about Pokemon, you will still love this manga. One of my friends who has never ever cared about Pokemon read a lot of this manga, and she absolutely loves it. It's really great. Then there's Radiant, which is actually a French manhwa, and it's sort of the shonen genre, but not like published by Shonen Jump, and it's one of my favorite modern shonens. It really feels like One Piece to me in a way that most series never do. I don't really know how to describe it. It's just really good. It's one of the only series I've seen tackle magical racism with actual tact and doing it decently well. Beastars from the anime list is one of the other series that have done that, and One Piece is another. But yeah, check out Radiant if you haven't. Then there's Chainsaw Man, which is probably the best modern shonen I've ever seen. It's getting an anime adaptation by Studio Mappa soon. It's really good. I absolutely love it. You will love it too if you see it. Then there's Berserk, everyone knows what Berserk is. I never watched the anime because, like, there's the CGI Nightmare Show or the really old, basically a slideshow. So I just figured I'd read the manga since it has a really good art. And yeah, I've only read the first arc, but it's really good and I really like it, and I have to read more of it soon. Then there's Black Clover, which gets a bad rap because it had a really bad anime adaptation, but the manga is like super good. Like, a lot of the problems are still there, but its pace is fast enough that you don't really notice or care about any of them, and it gets you to like get to all the cool stuff a lot faster, and it's really creative. It's just like, to me, it is the quintessential modern shonen, and it's really great. Then there's Seven Deadly Sins, another one of my favorite modern shonens. I'm putting it on the manga list because unfortunately season 4, its animation was not great, which kind of sucks because it was covering some of my favorite manga material, and considering how the 5th season is coming out so soon after, I don't have hope for it to be any better. And it's covering what is the best part of the manga. So yeah, Seven Deadly Sins, probably a manga favorite, but yeah, it's genuinely great. It starts out as just one of the most fun shonens I've ever seen, and gets into like some really emotional stuff, like from season 2 onwards. Really great. I'd check out watching the first 2 seasons of first 3, since technically season 2 is just 4 filler episodes, but watch the first couple seasons of the anime, then switch over to the manga. Then there's Magi, which is also a shonen that I really like. Shonen's my favorite genre, if you couldn't tell. It's basically like a shonen based on the 1001 Nights tales from like, the Middle East. It's really good. It has a super great power system where all of the characters are either wizards or have like genies possessing metal objects that give them superpowers, and like if you have one of those metal genie objects, you basically have political power as well, so it gets into some really interesting politics. It manages to make all of the countries of the world feel really realistic, though I actually prefer the prequel series, Magi, The Adventure of Sinbad, to the main Magi series. Sinbad is one of my favorite shonen protagonists ever, so yeah, it's good. And then more anime and manga that I've just been checking out more recently. I've seen Mobile Suit Gundam Iron-Blooded Orphans, which, like, it's not a recent, it's like a 5-year-old anime, but I only saw it recently, and it's just so good. It's so good. It sort of manages to tackle, like, the moral questions of war without ever having to, like, be like, what if war is bad? Instead, it, like, shows you both sides of the protagonist and the antagonist just sort of in an equal light, and the antagonists all have, like, not only do they get to show themselves to be well-rounded people with their own deep personal lives, but they also sort of have the same care for one another that the protagonists do. So, and since one of the series' main themes is camaraderie, it really just makes you care so much more about the antagonists. So when they eventually fight and the protagonists beat the crap out of the antagonists, it feels a lot sadder than it usually does. Then there's Wonder Egg Priority. It only has 2 episodes and it's currently airing, but it's so good. It's phenomenal. Please watch it. You will not regret it. Then there's stuff like Skate the Infinity, which is a skateboarding anime that has really good animation and I really enjoy. Then there's just stuff like Kemono Jihen, which is like a supernatural mystery anime, which is pretty cool for what it is. Jobless Reincarnation, which is like one of the isekai that actually bothers to delve into the idea of being an isekai a bit more. Like, it's apparently the first series that ever had Truck-kun, so that's kind of funny, and like it actually, like, the first thing that you see is like a first-person perspective of a person bleeding out on of the main character dying on the hospital bed. So that sort of stuff is like tackled in a more realistic anime than most isekais would, where it's just guy gets hit by a truck. Now let's get on to the good stuff. So that's pretty good. Then there's 2.43 Sane High School Boys Volleyball Team, which is kind of like Haikyuu, but sadder. And I'm kind of joking, but like it knows it's going to be overshadowed by Haikyuu, so instead of trying to focus on the games or stuff, it sort of focuses on the emotional relationship between the two main characters. So far, it's been pretty good. Then there's That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime Season 2, and I don't like saying that name, and there's not a good way to shorten it, so I just call it Slime Isekai, something that will absolutely be taken out of context, and I'm disappointed about that fact. But yeah, pretty good. It's pretty well known. Then Beastars Season 2. Beastars is good, I've said that before, and ReZero Season 2 Part 2, again, I talked about that. Then I've been catching up on the Noragami manga. I watched the anime like a good few months ago. I also watched Mobile Suit Gundam The Origin. It's really good. As you can see, there's a couple Gundam things. I actually, on my personal Twitter account, I got in contact with one of my brother's friends who really likes Gundam, and he helped me sort of figure out how to get into the series. So thank you for that, Char Aznable's personal whore. I don't think that's his Twitter username anymore. I just wanted to say that. I've also been reading Jujutsu Kaisen. You've probably heard about it. It's been pretty big in the anime scene recently. I read ahead in the manga. The current / most recent arc has been absolutely hype. I can't wait for Mappa to get their hands on it, because it's just going to be so amazing. I've read some Bakuman, which is basically a manga made by the creators of Death Note about creating manga in Shonen Jump that was published in Shonen Jump, and it's really good. Also Kaiju number 8, which is a fairly recent shonen. I think it only has like 15 issues or so, but it's doing things well, and I would recommend checking it out if you're into manga and want to see a new shonen. Then we can finally move on from the anime and manga to the type of games and movies I'm in. Unlike with my favorite series of all time, I actually do have like a top 7 or 8 games list. I think it's 8. So like the first 8 or so entries here are actually my favorite games in order. There's The World Ends With You, which is actually getting an anime adaptation later this year, and I'm super hyped for that. It's probably the game that has impacted me on a personal level more than any other, and is probably the best written game story I've ever seen. It's kind of niche, and its gameplay is really weird and kind of hard to get behind, but it is a very good game, so I'd recommend checking it out. Then there's Undertale, which everyone knows Undertale. I don't think I have to talk about that, but it's really great. Persona 5, absolutely great. Probably the most technically impressive game on my list. One of the best ones ever. Best JRPGs ever, I mean. Absolutely great. Highly recommend it. I haven't actually finished it, but it's still on here. And now that we've gotten past my top 3, which can basically be put in any order, I've just told you them, but they'll probably like have a different order in 5 minutes. But now we can get on to stuff whose placement is a bit more certain. Hollow Knight is my 4th favorite game ever. I'm actually going to be playing starting a Steel Soul run after I've done all this introductory stuff. It's really good. It manages to, like, it's the only game on this list, like, before Breath of the Wild, that doesn't have, like, a super good and engaging story. Like, the next 3 things on my list have some genuinely amazing stories, and the fact that Hollow Knight's gameplay, atmosphere, and art direction managed to set it above all of that, even though I don't like or care about its story at all, it's just like such a great, well-made game. Then there's Nier Automata, which is one of the most interesting games I've ever played from a story standpoint. Basically, you sort of experience the same story twice over by playing it from 2 different perspectives, by playing it twice in a row. Then when you try to play it the 3rd time, you end up playing the second half of that original story from another 2 perspectives, and that's really good. It also has super good gameplay. It was developed by the same guys who developed Bayonetta, so it's super fun. Absolutely check it out. Then there's Persona 4 Golden. Best way I can kind of say it is it's like Persona 5, but just a bit worse in a few places. The gameplay isn't quite as polished. The environments aren't as good, which, you know, it's a 2008 game. You wouldn't expect it to be, but still, that does sort of drag it down on in my rankings a bit. You have to do grinding, which is never fun. Honestly, the fact that a game with grinding is one of my favorites of all time tells you a lot about how well written it is. It was so unlike with Persona 5. I found myself trying to like skip through a lot of the gameplay to just get to the story, but the story was still super well written, so it's one of my favorite games still. Then there's 9 Hours and 9 Persons and 9 Doors, which is the first Zero Escape game, and I mentioned Zero Escape a couple slides ago. It's really good. I genuinely love it. Basically, it's like a visual novel / room escape game where the premise is you're living through Saw. And even though I haven't seen Saw, it manages to do really well. There's a ton of twists and turns. It's sort of a thing where you can never be sure who to trust because 90% of the cast ends up murdering you in some route or another. It's really fun to see how like you can influence them and stop them from murdering you, and instead working with you in different ways. It's really fun to play. Then there's Breath of the Wild. Everyone knows Breath of the Wild. It's better at giving you a sense of exploration than any other game ever. We all know Breath of the Wild. Then there's A Hat in Time, which isn't definitively on like my top 8 games list, but it's probably somewhere in there. It's probably my favorite 3D platformer ever. It's one of the most charming games I've ever played. It's really fun and subtle and great, and if I had a capture card for my Nintendo Switch, I would be playing it on stream. Then there's Genshin Impact, which has been my most recent obsession. I have spent way too much time playing it. It's kind of like Gacha Breath of the Wild. I've just spent way too much time. I think there have only been about 4 days I haven't played it since it came out at the end of September, and 3 of those days were because I didn't have power. So that tells you all you need to know about my embarrassing addiction to this game. I also started Hades recently, which is just a great game. It's my second roguelike I've ever played. It's got a super great story, a really interesting dialogue system, and it's really fun to just try and get through the entire game in one go with a bunch of different varying movesets. And then my favorite movies are probably Jojo Rabbit, which is a movie made by Taika Waititi about a boy in the Hitler Youth, and I really like the way it sort of handles the idea of Nazism, because it almost feels like a virus in the movie that has infected people. Like, there's a sense that a lot of these people could have been good people if they hadn't been indoctrinated into this terrible Nazi ideology. Like, that's basically the premise for the main character Jojo. He's a good boy who was raised in Nazi Germany, so he adopted this absolutely terrible mindset, and a lot of the movie is about him becoming free of that mindset. And even though there's like a lot of comedy because it's a Taika Waititi movie, it somehow manages to feel super tasteful, and all of the dramatic moments absolutely hit. It's just my favorite movie. And then after that is The Disappearance of Haruhi Suzumiya, which is based on the movie sequel to an anime that I thought was meh at best, but Disappearance is just really great. Absolutely worth watching the anime. If you have any interest in checking out a club anime, watch The Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya, skip the Endless 8 episodes, and then watch Disappearance, which is not a club anime. Melancholy is, but Disappearance is great. After that, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Again, I don't think I need to really talk about that. Everyone knows how amazing Spider-Verse is. Everyone has talked about it since it came out. I don't think I have much to say other than that. I absolutely adore it. And also, I really like the MCU movies. There's no point pointing out most of them in particular because they're just all the same movie, but they're all a movie that I enjoy, so I can tolerate that. I guess in particular it's Guardians. I like Guardians of the Galaxy because they're the best written ones. And then just gonna try and get on to my goals. I would like to eventually get monetized, which means I need 1,000 subs and 4,000 watch hours. But that's kind of a lofty goal, so more realistically, I want someone to subscribe who has absolutely no relation to me and like isn't a friend of someone I know who was told to check it out. I just want someone to stumble upon my channel, like it, and then subscribe. That's really just what I want. So yeah, now we are going to be playing some Hollow Knight. One second, I seem to be having a bit of audio difficulties. Okay, having a bit of technical difficulties right here. I'm gonna try and get Hollow Knight up again. Okay, Okay, I am not getting the audio from this. Hopefully you are. Tell me in chat, are you getting any of this audio? Okay, no one is responding. Gonna check my audio settings real quick. Oh wait, let's check real quick. Hey, please do not leave. Let's see if this works. Okay, I'm still not getting any volume. Hopefully you are. Okay, no. Apparently you are not getting the audio at all. I think this is more of a problem with the game because when I was doing a test stream, my friend managed to get at hear something, and so did I. This time I am not hearing anything. Let's check the setting. I'm gonna check the settings. Options, audio, please. Okay. Nope. There. I'm not getting anything. Okay, yeah. Well, hopefully well, I mean, a lot of this game's appeal is the sound, but hopefully, I can't figure this out, so hopefully you guys don't mind that fact. But yeah. So this is a Steel Soul run of Hollow Knight. Basically, the premise is, if you die once, you have to redo the entire game. And considering this game's reputation for being really hard, you can probably assume that is not easy to do. And it's not. Luckily, I probably won't screw up as much as most people would, because I've actually completed a Steel Soul run before on my own. When I did it before, I fought the Hollow Knight instead of the final boss of the Radiance. I don't think we're gonna get that far today, but if we do in later streams, I might let you decide, or I might just see if I can fight the Radiance. Honestly, not sure, but I'll definitely do something. This is Okay, honestly, I am kind of wishing we had audio, because, well, I can't constantly talk about when I haven't prepared talking points. Even I have limits, you know. I might be perfect, but no one is perfect enough that they can talk at all times. Not even improv comedians are that perfect. But yeah, so I might have a bit of trouble with talking, and the music probably would help with that, and also the music in this game is just really great. But yeah, it's there's actually a little bridge that's got, well, and this part's gonna collapse soon, so you want to be right here so you can grab that this geo, which is money. Something I try to get as soon as I can is like buying some certain power-ups. Okay, that was a death. Well, not a death, but a life. So yeah, I try to get as much geo as I can, because like there are a few things I want to get but in the beginning of the game every time, because it's just going to make it easier. Like an upgrade that makes it so that all geo that you get that drops will just naturally fly to you. Also, I know there's one other thing, but I can't think of what it is. I'll probably know when I manage to check the store the first time. Alright. Now we go to Hollow Nest. Yeah, that old guy was a bummer. We don't have to go talk to him. Ah, fuck. Did not think that guy was going to be right below me. Now I lost my other blue mask. And we're going to go this way, because this is the fastest way to the map maker. And you need to get the map maker to get a map, which is actually not that important for me, I guess. I just sort of know this area a lot, because I've played a lot of Hollow Knight, and you have to move through this area a lot. It's like connects to like 3 or 4 other areas. I did not expect to make this many sloppy mistakes, But yeah, I just know this area pretty well, so I will actually have to go to... Why am I doing so poorly right now? But yeah, I do have to go get the map maker, Conifer. Plus, Conifer is just a nice guy. He hums and all. Oh right, we can't hear the sound, so we won't hear the humming. But he's still a nice guy. Conifer's great. Ha! Your strategy was sound, maggot, but you didn't think that I can slice my sword through walls. Which is a tactic everyone has at their disposal, you dumb bug. There, I'm getting a bit back in my groove. Also, I had to do like a lot of practicing with this avatar because, again, even someone who's perfect needs to work at things. And there was just this one thing where every time I opened my mouth slightly too wide, which is to say, open my mouth to say most things that require an open mouth, the thing just showed my mouth and eyes glitching out to go through like the side of my head, which was very unsettling. But you know, let's not worry about that. We got it fixed. Actually not sure how I fixed that, but I did. This thing. Okay, it's dead. Alright, the ones that suck are the... No, these ones also suck. They just... Hey, how dare you have a projectile before I do? And that's that. Healing time. Honestly, this game is like always really hard when you first try to start it, but like after a bit, you still sometimes make dumb mistakes like that. But after a bit, you just sort of start understanding it, just sort of on a mixture of an instinctual level, and just you know how things work so well that you can properly avoid it, that stuff that seemed super hard to you before is genuinely like not a problem in the slightest. Like again, you can still make stupid mistakes when you aren't really paying attention, but this stuff gets honestly genuinely really easy in some places when that you genuinely never would have expected it to be from the beginning of the game, because the beginning of the game is really hard. I remember there's one of the second real boss fight of the game. The first time I played it, I died like 10 times. It was so hard, it drove me crazy. This time but I've played that boss fight a lot more since I've played more of the game, and like it's genuinely just super easy to do. And that's not to say I'm actually good at this. I'm better at this game than you. Genuinely, just anyone who has played the game as long as I have will probably get to the skill level I'm at, because you just get better at the game by playing it in a way that most others don't, because you're kind of always using almost all of your skill sets anytime you're just doing anything, just like jumping around. You're basically using every moveset you can in the game, and by just nailing jumps slightly better over and over, you are getting better at the game. So when you like fight a boss or something, the boss is a lot easier after you've spent a lot more time playing the game. And now the stag beetle is here. Oh right, I need to ring the bell. Hello, last stag. Let's talk to you. Hey, I'm glad to be of help. Okay, maybe that's a bit weird, but yeah, stag beetle. The last stag's pretty nice. I like him. Now I'm gonna kill this bird first, but then the maggot. Money! Money is the most important thing at this point in the game by far. You really need money to get more upgrades to do. And I have a few upgrades that I know that I definitely need. I'm gonna go through the shopkeep so that I can buy his wares. I mean, also I want to get this money up here, but you know, I hate those things. But yeah, get a lot of money, then I'll go get the shopkeep, then I'll go up and remember exactly what I need, and check how much it is so I know how much money I need. Then I'll fight through the first boss, which is the False Knight, get the Vengeful Soul power-up, which like is your first projectile ability, and then we'll move on to Green Path, which is the second area of this game. Something I really like about this game is like you do kind of have to go to the first two or like the first three or so area, as you have to go to like the first three or so areas in a certain order, but once you get a certain upgrade for the third area, like 5 different places have opened up to you already. Thank you, Kit. thank you for the compliment about my avatar. It was the original design was drawn by Isaac, Sonic Tail in chat. But yeah, that thing is gonna die, and then it's gonna let out a bunch of its kids, and I'm not gonna take a single hit from them. Oh god, what happened to my head? Oh, that's better. So yeah. Something I haven't actually mentioned. I have mentioned like I'm trans on this stream, but I have not actually mentioned that. Stupid rhino bug, but yeah, I have mentioned something. I'm actually asexual. Asexual pride, yeah. And more of like our pride symbols is wearing like a black ring on the middle finger of your right hand. And the other day, like literally last night, I took it off in the bathroom because I was doing some stuff. I don't remember what. I think I was like shaving or something, and I didn't want to like get any shave butter or anything on it. That's the shopkeep. But yeah. And when I was about to grab it, I accidentally knocked it down the drain, so I lost my ring, which was genuinely a lot sadder than I expected it to be. But I've ordered another one, and it'll get here soon, so you know, yeah. Happy ending to that story. Now, just gonna go get some more money to do. Okay, I didn't think those things respawn super soon. Okay, yeah. I've clearly got. Oh my god! Why does my head keep doing that? Okay, yeah. But yeah, I'm clearly like a bit rusty in this game, because like I'm making a bunch of these careless mistakes. But once you've played this game a lot, the timing for everything just gets in your head, to the point that you don't even realize it's on your head. You just make your decisions just subconsciously because you know how things are going to work. And I can't make those decisions as well because my memory's a bit fuzzy. But once I play this game a bit more, I'm gonna have a really refreshed knowledge about this, and hopefully, the stupid mistakes will be kept to a minimum, or not, because it's fun to watch people make dumb mistakes. But hey, you aren't perfect. I am. So clearly, the dumb mistakes are things that are good to make, because if they weren't, I would not make them. And that's how you tell if something is good or not. If I made it, it's good. If I did not, it is actually not necessarily bad. Anyone can do anything, and it's not necessarily bad. But if I did it, it's definitely not bad. Keep that lesson to heart. Got this strand of hair in my face, and I don't want to touch it because every time I do, my avatar looks really weird. Oh my god, I thought I was gonna get hit by the spikes, yeah, but yeah, I've got a strand of hair in my face, would really like to get rid of it, and I cannot. Why do I keep making those dumb mistakes and messing up my timing? Okay, hopefully it's out of my face now. I hope that did not mess up how I look. And secret right here. Time to die, stupid flies. Tell your cousins of the Kingdom Edge I'm gonna murder their family. And I guess that family includes you. But murder. And then that. Oh, alright, this is the entrance to the Crystal Peak. Can't do that yet. But yeah, this helps me get closer to the surface again to do. You know, as you play this game, you sort of realize, or if you're like 99% of people who clearly are not me, because I would never miss something no matter how subtle it is, but you sort of realize that all of these creatures are not actually evil. They're just being mind controlled by weird orange infection made by a moth god. So that kind of recontextualizes all this rampant murder. Guess they're not evil. I'm just an asshole. Time to kill this thing. I'm gonna take no damage against my fight with this thing. Do. Ah! Okay, I was wrong. Whoa, 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 whoa. I don't think he attacks me when I'm just outside of there. Thought I had this timing better for this guy than I did for most things. Ha! It's dead. And I got another one of those. So, alright, now I'm gonna maneuver my way up to the surface, see what Sly's selling, and see how much the things that I want cost. And also what the second thing I want is, because I know I want two things, but I can't remember what the two things are. Just remember the, oh, I know I need the quill from the map seller's wife. Is there anything else I need from Sly to do? Oh yeah, I'm actually gonna take a step in here. Usually I wouldn't, because I want to get money as fast as I can, but for those of you who haven't played this game, I need to introduce you to Quarrel, who's really great and really fun NPC. He likes uncharted places, and yeah, Kingdom full of mysteries. You don't really know how anything, the thing about Hallow Nest is that you don't really know what everything means, and as you play through the game, you kill things without knowing what everything means, and then after you play the game, you go back and look for specifically all the lore stuff, and then you find out what everything means by piecing it all together on a conspiracy board in real life, or you watch a YouTube video of someone doing that, because this game's lore is way too complicated, and it's like, I mean, yeah, I understand the value in like delivering lore in a way that people have to piece together, sort of like theories and stuff. I like theories. I like when games leave you theory material, but when your story itself is kind of unclear to you, to your players, I think that's kind of where you screwed up. Yes, I intended to go back down this well. Everyone knows you always go down the well once before exiting it properly to do. And this is the map seller's wife's place. Or map seller's place too, but mainly the wife's. But yeah, I'm gonna get... Oh right, I wanted the compass, I think. I'm actually gonna be willing to part with that, the compass, if I can get the Gathering Swarm. I don't really think I need it that much. Plus, you know, takes up slots that I could use for other power-ups to do. Alright. Okay, that's 300 coins. I need about 52 more coins. Luckily, those caterpillars I freed should give me the right amount. We're going down the well with our favorite sword and nail. Gonna kill some things, little murderers. I would watch that show just for the fact that it clearly seems like show marketing itself is upbeat. That's actually about murder. Honestly, if a kid's show was secretly just about murder, I would respect that so much. Like, you know, murder is a delicate subject, but if someone tries just ramming it into kids' show randomly when it seems like it's gonna be an innocent kids' show, that's kind of funny. Now, going back up, buying some, gonna buy that Gathering Notch Swarm. Hey, Dialed Man, I'll be coming back for you when you get infected. He doesn't get infected, but I wish he did so I could murder him. Yeah, I know how charms work, game, thank you. I mean, I actually do like that they just pop that up for you the first time you obtain a charm, and that's really simple. But also, I know this, and I would like to be able to turn, like, help screens off as an option. Like, I don't know, just seems like it would be fun. Though honestly, I can't really blame. Anytime I would like a slightly different option for this game, I also feel like I can't really blame them, because Team Cherry is like 3 people, and this is a giant, absolutely giant game. I think there's like 12 or so large areas to explore. There's so much power-ups, and like they put so much of that together so well. Honestly, if you don't have time to implement a turn help screens off button, I can respect that. You gotta do what's right for you. And now and what's right for me is murdering these bugs. Oh, also you can bounce on the statues. What I mean is, you can bounce on the statues. And I'm gonna kill this rhinoceros. But yeah, like, earlier I was talking about how, like, the pattern of everything really gets in your head, and, like, that can even help you properly find times to heal, because if you understand the pattern, you understand when and where a gap in the enemy's attacks will fall, so you know that that place will be safe and since you sort of instinctually understand how long it takes to heal, you will know, just sort of on an instinctual level, it will probably be okay for me to heal right here for this long. Sometimes you're wrong, because all of this calculation is happening subconsciously, but I think it's really impressive that there's a game where you can just understand everything. Well, like most games are, you sort of come to understand everything on such a instinctive level, but I really love how Hollow Knight manages to do it, because there's so much of the game that is just, but like the way that you play the game, you just start understanding that so well. I don't know. Hollow Knight is just one of the few games that is like really difficult, like the Souls-like type of thing, that I fully get. Like, I tried one version of Dark Souls 2, which is apparently the harder and worse version, Scholar of the First Sin, and I didn't really get into that nearly as much. I never got past like the first area, but I do really like the way that this handles difficulty, and the only reason I even wanted to try out Dark Souls 2 was because I loved this game so much, and I had heard that it's a lot like the Dark Souls game, and then when I went to buy Dark Souls games on Steam, Scholar of the First Sin was the only one on sale during the Steam Summer Sale, so I bought that one. Also, neat little trick. I could just leave this fight right now if I wanted to, but I don't want to. I want to murder this thing. Actually, I do really like how the game just lets you skip the False Knight for now, and lets you come back after you got better at the game by playing it more, but you do eventually have to come back because you can't get into the City of Tears, which is one of the main areas, without the False Knights, without an item that drops from the False Knight. Except actually you can, because there's like 3 ways into the City of Tears, so it'll take you a lot longer to get to the City of Tears, but you can absolutely still get into it. You can beat the game without ever killing the False Knight, and I think that's really cool. It's not what I'm gonna do, because I don't know, I feel like it, and also I like going to the City of Tears early. But you know, you can, and I think it's really cool that you can do that. Hollow Knight's, as I mentioned earlier, once you get like the 3rd upgrade, well, the 3rd maneuver, yeah, the 3rd upgrade, Hollow Knight really opens up, and you can just sort of do whatever, or go wherever. Like, there are certain areas that you can't get through from other, like, I couldn't jump to Deep Nest from here in the Forgotten Crossroads, but I could, with enough trying, kill the Mantis Lords and fall into Deep Nest after beating them. Or go into Deep Nest after beating them. Or there's another way to just fall into Deep Nest. And from Deep Nest you can go to like the Kingdom's Edge. I'm then dropping a bunch of this stuff because I just understand the game. I know the game very well. I've played it a lot. Just like trying to make a point, this game is really good. And now the Snail Shaman is going to give me an upgrade, but knock me out. And honestly, I kind of want to skip its I'm going to end up skipping its dialogue where it asks me to, actually I'll explain it in a second. Get knocked out. Wake up on the other side of this of a cage. because apparently the shaman thinks I would just abandon it immediately, which I probably would, but like I actually do like this little gauntlet tutorial area. At the end of this, there's a monster that is actually the same one blocking your path off from green path. So by putting it in this tutorial for the Vengeful Spirit, you understand how to beat it. Is just to use the Vengeful Spirit, so when you come across it trying to get into green path, or if you've already come across it, now that you've been here, you'll know how to beat it immediately. So, you know, I think that's a pretty cool way. And the best thing is, like, this is the closest thing to a tutorial segment the game has, and it's really just giving you an upgrade, saying that upgrade's got to be useful for this area, and dropping you into a mini area where there's one enemy that can only be killed by the upgrade you've gotten, and that's really the most tutorial-y the game gets. I actually think later parts of the game are really subtle, because you can only get certain upgrades in areas where you would need to use the upgrades to get out. So you just sort of start learning how to use it immediately, and it's sort of in your mind, and since a lot of them are like about how to maneuver through the world, you sort of you just sort of get the gist of how to understand them, and then by playing the game, you start understanding them better, which I think is a really cool way to handle this. How I mentioned how much I love this game, because it's a really good game. Time to die. Alright, it needs more than that many. I think it needs like 5 Vengeful Spirits to die. So Vengeful Spirit. Oh no, only 4. Alright, yeah, this leaves you with a token, Soul Catcher. I think it like gives you more soul. Oh yeah, and also I didn't mention is usually you have the option to talk to this snail immediately after you wake up here, which usually you would do, but I didn't do it this time. So since now that I'm talking to it again, after I've already killed the thing it wanted me to kill, it's like, oh, you already do this without me even asking. Thanks, and I like that little touch. It could just like force you to play both in order, like kill this thing, talk to him again, and then with nothing changing because you've already killed it. Oh, you killed the thing. Thank you. I'll let you out. But instead, it just sort of moves them together as a little interaction, and I think that's really cool. Also, this gives me a new exit to how to get to other parts of the Forgotten Crossroads. And there's Conifer's glasses. Conifer is great. And now, I'm gonna head over to Green Path, because we've got the Vengeful Spirit, and we've got the and we killed the False Knight. I already killed one of you. Thank you. If this thing never shot out another one, I might not be able to... Fuck, right, it does that. Forgot you can't get too... Forgot even the Vengeful Spirit doesn't work when you're too close to it. I also think that this game, like, is a lot more accessible than most really difficult games, because, like, it's a 2D platformer. Everyone's played 1 or 2 2D platformers in their life. One of their first games was probably a 2D platformer. So obviously you're going to understand how to play it a bit more, so when it gets difficult, you don't have the added difficulty of trying to figure out how 2D platformers work. You already know that, so you're just working on the specific difficulty of this game, whereas with Dark Souls, if you haven't played many third-person action games, you might not really understand how to play it at all, so you're both forced to grapple with Dark Souls level difficulty and learning to play a new game difficulty, and Hollow Knight just sort of sidesteps that, and I really like it. I probably will not talk about how well the game is designed as during most of my live streams. I just have a lot to say about the way this game is designed. Sorry, I heard that there was like a trick you could do if you fired Vengeful Spirits rapidly, you could get knocked back onto that platformer. Apparently I am not good enough to do it. By which I mean it was obviously a lie, because if it was possible, I could do it. Again, I'm perfect. Don't forget that part where I said I was not perfect. It was a lie. It was a falsehood to fool you. But yeah, mostly I'm just gonna be like talking, I guess, about myself or random stuff I've been doing recently, or shows I've been watching recently. But yeah, I really like Hollow Knight, and I've got a lot to say about how much I like the way it was designed. So I'm just doing that a bunch. Rest in hell, bitch. You know, I'm trying not to cuss as much. Like, if I ever get monetized, cussing too much could get me demonetized. But also, I like to do it. So clearly YouTube is the one in the wrong here. I know I say that jokingly, but like, YouTube is like trying to prove, oh, we don't let kids use it, only people over the age of 13 use it, so stop criminalizing cussing, like, well, not criminalizing, but demonetizing cussing. Like, it's a good way to prove that it's not intended for kids, even if it actually is. Like, literally, just let us cuss. Like, I could probably talk about why I don't like the way YouTube handled that whole child's regulation laws, but I'm kind of just sticking with that for now. Even that. And now we come to one of the cooler characters in the game that I kind of wish you could fight based on how he's built up to. But instead he just gives you a journal. But yeah, something I really like is that like you can actually feel the hunter's voice in his journal, because like it's always like got that sort of Shakespeare or that whole old-timey speech patterns mixed with, or overly theatrical speech patterns mixed with like the focus on hunting, and it sort of feels like it's written in the hunter's voice, which, you know, I like that. And I got another one of these. Ha! Okay, clearly I was overexcited. That's not a flaw. Even perfect people get overexcited like me. But yeah, the correct answer was to not jump into that acid. So, you know, the more you learn. I did not mean to do that. I wanted to go kill everything. Also, this is not the way to fight Hornet. Which is my goal right now, because after you fight Hornet, after we fight Hornet, you get like the dash power-up, which will allow me to go to the Fungal Wastes, where I can get the wall jump, which is the power-up that basically opens up the world for me. I really like Hornet in this game. She's like a boss, but she's like also sort of a friendly character. Like, it's she's killing people more to like test them, see if they're like good enough to free Hallow Nest of its infection. Thought I didn't see it there, Venus Flytrap, but I did. But yeah, so she will like try to kill you sometimes, and then immediately after will save your life, because you've proven yourself worthy to her, and I really like that. The second Hornet fight in particular is just really fun. I wish I could catch up to that thing and kill it, but I don't have the dash power up yet. It's been just over an hour right now. Oh, fuck. But yeah, so all of these guys are going to hell. That's part of my I like banishing souls to hell thing. Damn it, I didn't get any money because it went into the acid thing. But yeah, I'm banishing these souls to hell. Sorry, Hornet. Can't go there just yet. I got something to get. Thought I could kill it faster. I mean, I'm not actually making mistakes here. This is the best way to play it. The game is better when you do things like that instead of just doing it all in one case. Like, the thing that makes the game so fun is failing and then succeeding. So, you know. Oh right, this requires the dash. See, like, again, if I didn't go here and fail to do it, then when I come back and successfully do it with my dash power up, it would feel so much less meaningful. So what I'm saying is, I'm not actually bad at this game. I'm just playing it the right way. Can't get that thing either. You need either the crystal heart or like which lets you which is like a super dash, or Yzma's tear, which lets you swim in acid. I really need to get need to get a lot more money, because there's these two power-ups I would like to get from later on. One is like called Fragile Heart, and basically it gives you more health, and the other is Fragile Greed, which lets you get more money, so I'll be able to buy more power-ups. Alright, I need to give myself Soul Catcher. Yeah, now I get more soul when I'm attacking enemies. Though I'm probably going to replace that in a second, because I'm going to get a better power-up soon. I'm really hoping that everyone who has played Hollow Knight is impressed with me, because if you have not played as much of Hollow Knight as I have, this is a much harder area to get through. I'm hoping to really impress the people who have played a bit of Hollow Knight but not much when I get to Hornet, because I'm going to beat Hornet pretty easily. Not to brag, but yeah. These Moss Knights, that leaf thing's a Moss Knight, that is probably tougher than Hornet. I didn't say they were that tough, just that they were tougher than Hornet, because they've got a shield, where Hornet does not. Uptown funk you up. Freeze, police! If you got that reference, good to know I have pro ZT watchers in my audience. That fly must have been the fly from hell if it was managed to do that much damage to me. You know, actually, before I go that way, I'm going to go do something else. There's sort of a mini boss fight here, right here. So you can actually like not do the mini boss fight, and you just leave that guy who was in its mouth, Zote, to be dead. And even though he's like a decently important NPC with a lot of lines of dialogue, he'll just not be in the rest of the game if you don't save him. And I usually wouldn't, because like I've saved him most times, but he's really annoying, and there's one point in the game where you get to attack and murder him and he can't do anything to you, and I want to do that. So, you know, I guess I'll save him. There. Come on. Gonna get you, you stupid bird. It's not even a bird, it's a fly. It's called a Vengefly. It's like a decent name, but I just want to murder it. Okay, this thing's attack patterns are not as well baked into my mind, because it's, alright. That's dead, and usually I would walk away, but I want to show you how annoying Zote is, because Zote is the worst, and I can't wait to beat the crap out of him in the Coliseum of Fools. Oh, I'm sorry I saved your life. What was your plan? Coat yourself in poison so when he swallows you, he dies? Or was it to wait for me? Because I'm the only one who could kill him. So actually, there's like a function later in the game where you can read his thoughts, and based on what he thinks, he seems to actually believe all the bullshit he says. So, you know, I guess that's supposed to be like an interesting foible, but honestly, it's just delusional. Actually, maybe it is just supposed to be he's delusional and it's fun to murder him. Thing is, you don't actually get to murder him. Like, even if you kill him, he just comes back from the Coliseum with like a helmet and is like, ha, I proved my bravery in the Coliseum. And I'm like, no, you fucking didn't. You got your ass kicked by me, and also we're in a cage. You probably just stole that helmet off the corpse of one of my other opponents. I'm basically reacting to a lot more of this game. Oh, right. You can't do this without the dash power-up either. Well, in that case, I'll go kill Hornet and get the dash power-up. That was on purpose. My throat is getting pretty dry. It is. I think I might cut this off at like 5. 2 hours seems decent for a debut stream. But yeah, I will be doing a lot more games and other things in the future. I won't just be doing this Hollow Knight game. I'm thinking about like doing a Nuzlocke of Pokemon White version. My brother actually on his Twitch account is doing a Nuzlocke of a Heart Gold Soul Silver run, which I'm editing for his YouTube releases because I know how to edit, because I am, again, perfect. I don't blame him for not knowing how to edit. Again, no one's as perfect as me, and you know, you're not going to be perfect, so you should love yourself for who you are instead of trying to hold yourself up to unrealistic standards, those standards being mine. And I killed that thing too, and I'm gonna get some money. It's all about the money. Ching ching, got the money. And this is probably the most annoying one because it's harder to jump on his head, but it also helps you free a caterpillar, and I like freeing caterpillars because they give me money. And that thing is dead now. See, I lost 3 of my I'm down 3 lives and can't heal. I told you these things were more annoying than Hornet. Well, now I can heal, but instead of doing that, I think I'm going to save that up for Hornet and just head to this Stagway station and rest on the bench. Let's check what my map currently reads as. That's pretty good. I'll be going to Hornet pretty soon. Oh, right, that's not how you do that. Guess I did just end up wasting that. Again, completely on purpose. I guess you just can't understand my brilliant machinations, but you know, that's fine. Most people can't see in 10D. Oh, wait. Forgot to show you something cool. And now, fuck! Okay, that was actually really crafty. I did not see that I've played this game so many times and I forgot about that and did not see it coming. Honestly, props to them. You managed to catch someone like me off guard, you deserve your props. Hey Hornet, in case you don't know, Hornet is your character's sister, so all those weird comics you've seen that you might have seen that were like Hornet X the main character, those are super creepy. Just wanted you to know that so that you can know not to get into those. Ah, fudge. I'm probably gonna be playing like a lot of Genshin Impact on stream soon, because like the next update comes out in like early February. So I'm probably not gonna stream Genshin until then, despite playing it a lot, because like I've just been through all of the content. Once then we get the new content updates, I'm probably gonna be playing Genshin a lot on stream. I don't know. Depending on like if I can figure out how donations work, I might like institute a policy of like, if you donate enough for me to buy a wish, I will do whatever wish you choose for me to do. You know, if I can try and convince you to enable my habit, and also not make me pay for it, then, you know, I'm fine with that. And Hornet is gone. Dash! Doo-doo. I stole that. I stole that off a corpse of my brother or sister. Actually, sibling. I don't think they have a gender. Would it break the seams? This is some cool shit foreshadowing, but the thing is, by the time I eventually got to the point where I understood it, I had forgotten about this moment. So, I mean, if I forgot about it, what chance do mortals have? So, you know, guess that was a bad call. Unless you somehow have a greater than mortal memory, in which case, you know, cool. I guess stop rubbing it in my face. You can be perfecter than perfect in possibly one instance, but not in all of them. Doo-doo. Got a bench, and we meet Quirrell again. Doo-doo. Yeah, it's really weird. It's pretty cool, though. Apparently, Slug went to sleep, and its dream created all of this greenery. I wish I was joking. Yo. Ah, fuck, I thought you had to do something to interact with it, not just get hit. And now it's dead. Actually, fun fact, once we get an upgrade that lets us move past this very large lake of acid, we can actually meet that giant slug who managed to pull a Link's Awakening on us, on this area. I want to kill one of those birds. I don't think they give you anything except like the basic soul, but like being able to catch something that's usually so fast and hard to catch and murder it, that's not in real life, I mean, but like in this game, that's pretty cool. And then, as I go here and destroy this floorboard, what do you know? It's back on that path that we took to get to Hornet. That's fun to do. Oh, you know what anime I forgot to put on that list of anime I really like? Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. That's not a surprising take, but like, it's a really great show. Naruto may have been like my first real anime, but that was like the first anime that showed me how good anime could be. It's probably the best anime to show to someone to get them into anime ever. It's just got something for everyone and is also one of just the best shows. Yeah. Also, on the manga section, I forgot to put JoJo's Part 7, Steel Ball Run. I usually think JoJo's is a tad overrated. Like, it's always good except for in Part 3, which is bad and super overrated, and I don't understand why people like it. It's okay if you do. There's nothing wrong with being wrong. But yeah, Steel Ball Run is like the one place where it completely lives up to the hype. It's like super well written. It's great. Please read. If you haven't, I would recommend reading Steel Ball Run. I actually recommend checking out JoJo's no matter what if you're an anime fan, just because like, A, it's so ingrained in the culture, and B, it's such a unique experience that you can't get anywhere else, that watching it, I mean, is probably worth your time, even just to see if it's for you or not. because you can't really figure out if JoJo's is for you through any other mean than watching JoJo's. So, you know, if you haven't checked out JoJo's, try doing it. I actually sort of have a recommendation. If you, for trying to get into JoJo's, most people say maybe skip part 1 and start with part 3, but part 3 is really bad, so you should never do that. I would recommend trying one episode of part 1. The best part of part 1 is like the relationship between Jonathan and Dio, which is set up and has a cool little mini arc in episode 1, so check that out. If that doesn't do anything for you, you won't like part 1, in which case you'll just skip to like 10 episodes later in part 2, which you should also watch like one episode on, because the main pull of part 2 is Joseph, the new main character's personality, which is also shown off really well in episode 1. And if that doesn't do anything for you, you probably won't get that much out of part 2. Maybe watch a second episode or so to see what a fight's like. But really, if you don't like click with Joseph's character, for whatever reason I cannot understand, because Joseph is like the most charismatic character ever, then skip forward to part 4. It's the thing that introduces, well, actually part 3 introduces stands, but part 4 makes them better, and it's not part 3, and is actually well written, and is probably in the 3 best parts of the series. So, you know, check that out. And then if part 4 doesn't do it for you, like, maybe check out a few more than just one episode of part 4, but like, if part 4 does not do it for you, I would still probably suggest watching part 7, because it's really good in a way that no other JoJo's part is. Like, it's never really got any Monster of the Week aspect. It's all like, it kind of is Monster of the Week, but every Monster of the Week, it ties into a new aspect of the plot, so it doesn't feel Monster of the Week. So I would recommend checking out part 7. Honestly, I would say if you don't get into part 1 or part 2 and you're willing to read manga, maybe just skip straight to part 7. But if you aren't willing to read manga, or just have tried 3 other parts of JoJo's and don't like them, then yeah, I can understand not wanting part 7, but part 7's really good. My mouth is tired. I am not used to talking for this long on end. I'm gonna go buy something from the weird ant vendor here, who is crazy and terrifying. And apparently you can make him get eaten, which, like, that's creative, I guess. Okay, I keep using the wrong button to do Fragile Greed. I don't think I need a Fragile Heart just yet. I might put it on before the particularly nasty fights, but for now, I'd rather, like, get more money so that I can buy more things. Fuck. Money is very important for, like, a Steel Soul run in particular, because you really want to get all the really good power-ups so that you don't die. That's it. It's very simple. Just, you don't want to die, because if you die, you start the entire game over. Honestly, I'm pretty satisfied with myself for being able to do this well so far. Ah, fuck. Oh, fuck. I'm healed. Time to murder this. Time to murder this guy. Time to murder this. Time to murder this guy. Murder. Time to murder. Time to murder. Time to murder. Time to murder this mushroom. I was hoping that would finish him off. Ah, fuck. I hit the wrong... And hey, this gives me a charm notch, so I can put one more charm in. which will be useful soon. Oh wait, no, I don't want to go this way. I'll open this, but fuck, I didn't. I thought I'm not gonna go back to the last bench, but next time I find a bench, I think I'm gonna end the stream. It's been really fun. But my throat is just getting tired. I would kind of like to give it a chance to rest my voice. Fuck! Not this guy. He sends fuck! Stop shooting explosives at me. What's back here, I wonder? Alright, I know what this is. It's a warrior grave. It's fine. I'm actually gonna end pretty soon. My throat and voice are getting pretty tired. Next save point I get to, I'm gonna end. But yeah. Oh wait, Cloth was back there. Should I go talk to Cloth? Can I go talk to Cloth? Yes, I can. Cloth! Cloth is the best girl of this game. Yeah, there's a bunch of mantises here. They were super hard when I first got them. When I first got to them in my first playthrough. I think I got the handle on them now. The Mantis Lords, the bosses of this area, are probably one of my favorite bosses in the game, and are also super hard. I don't think I can beat them with my current level of equipment. They're super hard for this point in the game. Once you do better later on, once you get better and better equipment later on, they get pretty easy. But I do not have the proper equipment to do well. Hornet goes that way, and I cannot follow. That's to the City of Tears. I need the wall jump to get there. There's actually going to be a Hollow Knight sequel spin-off where you play as Hornet called Silksong, and I cannot wait for that. It's going to be so much fun. Time to die. Time to die. Well, okay. This is just an insult now. I'm going to murder this guy not because I get money from it, but because I want to murder him. I think this should be a good place to stop soon. Oh no, wait, that's to the Mantis Village. Alright, I don't have a map for this area. Okay, well, guess I'll go fight the mantises. That thing's dead. Sorry, guess you suck. I didn't expect you to react that quickly. I was hoping to do like a double Vengeful Spirit kill. Or 2 Vengeful Spirit kills in a row. Another Vengeful Spirit kill. When I first played this game, and for the first few playthroughs, I've always been super conservative with my soul, because it's the way you heal, so I didn't cast that many spells, but the spells are really good, so I'm gonna try and play a bit more recklessly. And use it for my Vengeful Spirit a good few times. I'm just gonna skip right to the bench. Okay, that is a save. I think I'm gonna leave it here for now. Throat's getting tired, voice is sore. So thank you for coming to my debut stream. Please subscribe, and if possible, donate. I don't actually expect you to donate, but still, subscribe, get the word out, tell your friends about me, 'cause, you know, I deserve it. See ya!